Well, fam, the Tesla Robotaxi event is here tonight, and Dan Ives has said some pretty shocking things that you're going to want to hear, so sit tight. Don't worry about subscribing, smashing the like button, or trying to join the Discord or the coaching just yet. Let's listen to what Dan Ives has to say about Robotaxi tonight.
What are we going to get? Are we going to get info on cost per mile overall, scaling the cyber cab? Are we going to get info on whether they have a ride-sharing app or insurance costs? I don't know. I want some details here. Are you going to get them?
Yeah, I think it's actually going to be heavy on details. I think importantly, this is really showing autonomous, in terms of true autonomous, as we go to level 4, level 5. This is really going to be a game changer for Tesla. And I think they're going to show on Cybercab and the rollout, I think by the end of next year, this is something within certain cities that will be, ultimately a reality. And I think when you actually start to go through per mile and you look at miles driven, I think from a fleet perspective, even relative to what we see with Waymo and everyone else, I think it's a new chapter for Tesla. You do not walk away, shrug the shoulders. I think this is a game changer.
You do. All right. So do you think you're going to walk away with enough information to put a model together, a discounted cash flow model or something based on your own assumptions in terms of where this thing goes, that, you can start to come to a number in terms of per share as to what it's going to mean for the company? Yeah,
to me, it's really, okay, what's the timetable? Now, clearly, obviously, some of the promises in the past have not worked out here. I think we're talking not just by the end of next year, but what's the ramp over the next few years, 3 to 4 years? What could that mean in terms of for the fleet? 6 million cars out there, potentially 8 or 10 over the next few years. What ultimately does that mean? This is pure margins. This is really building out a whole new business for Tesla. And I think we could be looking at something based on our math, 3-4 years out. This could be 20-30% overall profit.
20 to 30% overall profits for of the company's profits will be from their effort here. You say that it represents $1 trillion of value for Tesla over the coming years. How do you get to that number?
I just look at FSD, look at autonomous relative to cars on the road. This is not just for Tesla. It's our view that they're ultimately going to OEM this technology. And when you look at even some of the numbers out there, we could be talking about 10, 20 billion annually per year that they're starting to ultimately deliver when this ultimately gets to scale. And I don't view this necessarily as a massive threat to Uber, but just look what Uber did in rideshare. So I think when we look at the broader market here and ultimately the software driven and the margin, I view this will be a day we look back at 3-4 years from now that actually start to change the next phase of the Tesla story.
You don't worry, Dan, about the regulatory approval needed for autonomous vehicles on a state-by-state basis, which is where they're given. I guess 29 states and Washington, D.C. currently have autonomous vehicle operation mandates. And I guess there are certain friendlier states like Texas. But isn't that a factor here?
Oh, clear. Look, I think David's question on the cost per mile, that's something I'd expect to hear about. And that's important in terms of what we're looking at. Regulatory is the biggest hurdle. And I think that's something state by state on the federal side, they're going to have work cut out for them. But that is something, I think it starts tonight, but over the coming 12, 18, 24 months, I think regulatory ultimately is something that they're going to be able to sort of navigate through. And I think that's the important thing tonight. Not just the technology, showing how we get there, what the roadmap is.
So Dan Ives had a lot to say about Robotaxi and its projection and what's going on tonight and what's expected. And I'm going to break all of that down for you. However, if you guys are interested in taking control of your financial freedom, I offer a full training course, Discord, and one-on-one coaching. We have very limited spots. I had to pause registrations for a couple of weeks and now they're open back up. So if you guys would like to take control of your financial future and your financial health, maybe you want to retire early, or maybe you just want to start making more profits, I would love to help you out. You guys can sign up at investwithcorey.com. The link is in the information box below. I've also had people telling me that they didn't know where exactly to go. You just click on investwithcorey.com, click on training, and you go right here and watch this video. It'll explain everything in detail. Things I don't have time to explain in this video, but it's all right there. And then you can book a call with me. So this way I can custom tailor a solution that works for you. I have students that have taken 8,000 to 20,000 in 3 months and other students that have taken 300,000 to 400,000 in 3 months. It depends on your portfolio size. guys, but everybody is making profits consistently and they are successful. And I would love to help you guys achieve your financial freedom just like I achieved mine. I look forward to helping you on your journey when you're ready to join. So Dan Ives said that they're going to go heavy on the details tonight. That's what he expects, and that this is going to be a game changer for Tesla. He also said by year end of 2025, he expects to see this as a reality on the road. He also said he wouldn't be shocked if 3 to 4 years out from now, there's 6 million autonomous robotaxis in the fleet and on the road. He was also talking about the margins and that this is pure profit for Tesla, which is true. This would be really big profits, especially considering the age in which we live in with technology. And he sees it being as 20 to 30% of Tesla's total profits in the coming years. He estimates that Tesla could very well do $20 billion a year with Robotaxi and sees it as a valuation over the next 3 to 5 years of $1 trillion in added value for Tesla. This is just the next phase for Tesla. However, he doesn't see it as being a direct threat to Uber. Personally, I think this is not really going to affect Uber and Lyft as much as one would think, because there's going to be people out there that just want to take an Uber or Lyft, talk with the driver, get where they got to go, and not have to get in a vehicle with an autonomous robot driving the car. Some people are just not going to adapt to that quickly. It's going to take a lot of time. So I think in the next 3 to 5 years, it will have very little impact on Uber or Lyft. I think there might be an initial impact when Robotaxi launches over the next year or so, and it's new and people are diving in and trying to test it out and see it. It's kind of like the awe and the shock factor, but I don't really see it affecting Uber and Lyft long term. Personally, I think that this is something that could affect them 5 to 8 years down the road, maybe a little bit longer than that. But in the next 1 to 3 years, or even 3 to 5, I don't see it directly hurting on Uber or Lyft to the point where their stock goes down or where the company is struggling to make profits. I don't think that's going to be the case, and Dan Ives pretty much said that. The issue here is the event tonight, like Dan Ives had said, going to be just talking about Tesla? Is it going to be wasting time just to be an Elon show? Is it going to be just sugarcoating Robotaxi? Or are we going to get the details? It's not just the autonomous driving and the technology. We also have the mandate issues. DC plus 29 states have regulations on Robotaxi and autonomous driving. They have to worry about that. How is Tesla going to navigate the regulations to get certifications and approvals? And how are they going to navigate the fleet, the production? Is there going to be 2-seater and 4-seater, 7-seater vehicles, the size of the vehicles, the capabilities? There's a lot of details. And what Tesla really needs to dive into tonight is not just Robotaxi's coming. This is what Robotaxi can do. They also have to release information to us about how they plan to do it, the landscape in which they plan to achieve it, and the time frame in which they plan to achieve it in. They have to provide us with the details and the overall navigation and landscape to success for Robotaxi and how it's going to benefit Tesla and how the production they expect to go and their guidance in the coming years. How is it going to affect the sale of current Tesla vehicles? We have to worry about all of these things. The event can't just be hype or excitement. We have to understand exactly what their plan is and their guidance. And I think that is what's going to sell the event, sell the news, and create an uptick and surge in Tesla stock. So if Elon Musk doesn't have all these details and he just plays on hype and it's kind of just an Elon Musk show, then the stock might drop and it might be a failure of an event. However, if he gives us a lot more information on how Tesla plans to achieve all of this and more details on Robotaxi and their guidance, like I've been saying, as well as the landscape, this could be good for Tesla and the stock could run pretty decently in the coming weeks, especially after the election. There's also another analyst that said a few things about Robotaxi. Let's take a listen to what they had to say.
Is Tesla's highly anticipated Robotaxi event, 10 p.m. Eastern time, something Elon Musk and others have pointed to as key for the company's future? Let's bring in Phil LeBeau for more on what exactly to expect. Hi, Phil.
Kelly, there's two things that people should be focused on tonight. First of all, let's talk about the Robotaxi unveil and the discussion about the Tesla Robotaxi network, rideshare network. Maybe they have a different name for it. But at the event tonight, Robotaxi will get most of the attention. Three things that analysts are looking for. And this tells us whether or not this is Elon really giving us something or Elon putting on a show. Specific operational details. Something like cost per mile. This is our estimate. This is how we're going to build the vehicle. What stands out about it? The timeline for a rollout. Is it going to be specifically tied to, I don't know, the first half of 2026, early 2027? There's got to be some timeline there for people to say, okay, now we can start to game this out. And the types of autonomous models. We've been told there's going to be a 2-seat model that they will put a demonstration on with. We've also heard that there may be more of a community ride model, if you will. Those are that's the guts of what people really want to see in terms of the Robotaxi. Keep in mind, the other part of the story that Wall Street's probably more focused on is if Elon Musk makes reference to a lower priced model that will be coming perhaps in the first or second quarter of next year. Remember, in the first quarter, they said, hey, we're going to start work on a lower priced version, maybe a decontented or a stripped down version of the Model 3. What do they tell us about that this evening? If they tell us something, that could have real implications for Tesla shares tomorrow. Remember, the company delivered 1.81 million vehicles last year. If you look at their annual delivery growth, it's been growing steadily from the beginning. I don't think they've had a down year, if I'm not mistaken. Well, that may change this year because right now the estimate is for 1.78 million vehicles to be delivered. And by the way, to get to that point, they're at 1.29 million deliveries through the third quarter. They're going to have a record number of deliveries in the fourth quarter. Can that happen? Sure, it could happen, but that is really what people are going to be focused on tonight, guys. I know people get caught up in these events. They focus on the Elon Musk show, but it's really the details about Robotaxi as well as the lower price model. That's what Wall Street's going to be looking at.
Now, like I had said, they pretty much said the same thing that I was saying. We want more detail. So pretty much the same thing I was saying. That's what they explained. We want to know the cost per mile. We want to understand the build process. What's going on with the autonomous vehicles? When is it going to be out? Are we also going to be getting an announcement tonight for a lower cost Tesla Model 3 because they were going to be introducing a lower cost model at some point? We want more details on that. That could be huge for Tesla. Tesla delivered 1.81 million vehicles in 2023. They're projected to deliver 1.79 million vehicles in 2024. However, Tesla's only delivered 1.29 million up to this point. So they have a game of catch up to do in the fourth quarter, and the Robotaxi event, as well as maybe a possible reveal on a cheaper, lower price entry model to the Model 3, might actually spike sales or at least increase the excitement surrounding the Tesla brand. Tesla's not just an EV company. They're a data acquisition hub, an autonomous driving company, as well as an EV automotive manufacturer, all combined into one. So when you invest in a Tesla, you're investing into Tesla vehicles, AI, computers, autonomous driving, data acquisition, X and SpaceX, pretty much everything Elon. Essentially, Tesla is the Berkshire of the modern day age and of EV vehicles. Tesla and Warren Buffett, very similar in that respect, because with Berkshire, you're getting multiple companies in the package. Tesla is not just a car company. They are a very well-diverse company, and they're only going to grow in the future. Honestly, whether this event is bad and you buy the dip, or this event is good and you get in as it's rising, continue to dollar cost average and add to your Tesla position, because this is one of the best stocks that you can hold on to. In time, things will get better for Tesla as the EV market improves. Autonomous driving, Robotaxi is only going to get better as time goes on. 3 to 5 years from now, Tesla is going to be in a position where you're going to look back and say, hey, I wished I'd gotten in when I had the chance. Thanks so much, guys, for being here. If you guys want to sign up for my one-on-one coaching Discord training course, you guys can do so at any time. Limited spots. If you guys show up very serious to learn, I will show up serious and committed to teach you guys how to grow your portfolio, and I would love to help you. InvestWithCorey.com, links in the information box below. We'll catch you guys in the next video upload. Take care of yourselves.